Ahava, blessings, and welcome to this video. I'm so excited to be here with all of you as you can see the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. It's a beautiful day. I'm a little bit chilly just because it's very early in the morning, and I'm sure that many of you will probably have t-shirts on and shorts if you're out here, but I tend to feel the cold quite strongly. And so as we are navigating this month of Lent, and even if it's not the month of Lent, you can always watch this video. I will be talking about the 7 sorrows of Mother Mary and how these 7 sorrows are actually wisdom teachings that are activated in our lives. Particularly during the month of Lent, it is very powerful how these teachings become activated, but also we can bring these teachings into our life when we need to, when they call upon us. And so the number 7 is a very powerful number, symbolizing the divine feminine presence and also the Holy Spirit. It is the number of initiation. And so let's look at the 7 sorrows of Mother Mary. And so the first sorrow that we're going to look at is the prophecy of Simon, right? And so the prophecy of Simon states, when Mary and Joseph presented the infant Yeshua in the temple, the elderly Simon prophesied that a sword of sorrow would pierce Mary's heart, right? And so this is something that happened to Mother Mary, but also we can bring this teaching into our life. Sometimes we're given a diagnosis of something. Sometimes we know that the future that awaits us, there may be a challenge, maybe that we're foreseeing something very difficult that we need to go through. And this can haunt us. Yet what did Mother Mary do? Mother Mary released. She surrendered and said, my relationship and my faith is with Allah, with Divine Mother, Father. And so when we see a big challenge coming into our life, and remember that these challenges may be different for all of us, right? For some, it could be a sickness. For others, it could be just doing something in a different way. For others, it could be maybe leaving a relationship, and for others it could be going into a relationship. But sometimes we have fear of the future, but we should not have fear of the future, because the future is happening now. It is the present moment that exists. And so the second sorrow, I'm going to use my glasses here. We have the beautiful sun coming in now. The second sorrow of Mother Mary is the flight into Egypt. To protect Yeshua from King Herod's murderous intent, Mary, Joseph, and Yeshua fled to Egypt, becoming refugees in a foreign land. And so this is a reminder that sometimes we are asked to navigate unfamiliar territories. And this could be something physical in our life. We know that many people need to leave their countries and become refugees, right? Fearing death, fearing starvation, fearing political expressions that are not aligned with their truth, that may take their freedom away. But sometimes we're called to navigate territories that are very different and unfamiliar, that bring us fear. And the message here is that when they went to Egypt, they had a community, and they relied on a community. A community was there. And so remember that when we need to navigate something that is different, we should always remember that to find a network of those of us who love us and allow ourselves to be held. And if we find ourselves feeling lonely, that there is no one around us, there is always someone holding us. There is always someone there embracing us. And this is Divine Mother. And so there are many ways that we can be called to navigate something different, right? There are many ways that we can become refugees, even refugees of our own life. What if the soul is exiled? What if we have exiled the Divine Feminine Presence and we wander the earth, wander our incarnation, not knowing what is the next journey, not knowing what we are here to do? And many of us have felt this way. And so we can bring this into our attention as well. And remember, these unfamiliar territories can also be an inner journey, activating changes within our lives that seem to displace us. And so the third sorrow of Mother Mary is the loss of the child Yeshua in the temple. And so during a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, Mary and Joseph lost track of Yeshua for 3 days, causing them great distress. And so there are many things that may cause anxiety in our life. When we lose a relationship, maybe we lose money, when we lose what seemed to be our job, our work, and all of a sudden we have this anxiety within us, right? And so even though this was something that happened, and the anxiety of losing a child for 3 days and not knowing where your child is very unbearable, very deep, think of what brings anxiety into your life. What type of loss will make you feel that anxiety? And what do you need to go back into the unity to release that anxiety? And again, to release anxiety, we need to trust and we need to have faith. Anxiety will not get us anywhere. Anxiety will not stop something from happening, right? And so here the lesson is that there are moments in life where we lose things, but something greater happens after. A greater joy happens when we are able to go beyond that anxiety and transcend that anxiety. And now the fourth sorrow of Mother Mary, the meeting of Yeshua and Mary on the way of the cross. Mary encountered her son Yeshua carrying the heavy cross to Calvary, a moment filled with sorrow. And so we can feel this when we're holding space for someone who is going through a lot. Maybe someone who is experiencing a sickness or a loss, or maybe us watching a loved one dealing with a disease, right? But also we can understand that we need to know how to be there for people. Being there for someone is important, just as Mother Mary was there for her son Yeshua, and of course she was there, she's the mother. But how are we showing up, right? What are we expressing to our loved ones and to our friends, or maybe a stranger that is walking in the street? How can we just hold space for someone without judging, without even going into a hysterical experience of loss, just holding space and witnessing someone's pain, and knowing that sometimes that pain is causing us great pain. So what are we called to give? How are we called to give of ourselves when we are holding space for someone? And so this is a beautiful teaching as well. And then we have the fifth sorrow of Mother Mary, which is the crucifixion and death of Yeshua. And so Mary stood at the foot of the cross, witnessing her beloved son's crucifixion and death. The crucifixion speaks to the pain of watching a part of ourselves die. The spiritual lesson here is about surrender and acceptance, the understanding that through death comes resurrection, and in our deepest losses, we find the seeds of the new beginnings. And so we can ask ourselves, is it painful when a part of ourselves dies? Because it is. It is painful. Moving on in our lives and maybe having the people that we shared our lives with not with us anymore, right? Maybe we are called to go to a different city, to go to a different country, to live a different life, or to let go of something or someone that we thought we were. It's painful, right? Because with new beginnings comes new wisdom and new responsibility, right? The Creator, Allah, Divine Mother, Father, is asking more of us when we start a new beginning. When we really have, with grace, commitment, faith, and love, let go. And just planted the seeds of that new beginning, higher octave of our destiny. And so the sixth sorrow of Mother Mary is the taking down of Yeshua's body from the cross. The lifeless body of Yeshua was taken down from the cross and placed in Mary's arms, intensifying her sorrow. And so we can understand that this is something that actually happened. You know, to see your son being crucified and holding that person lifeless in your arms. But at the same time, we can think about what it feels like to let go of something, right? Because many times when we let go of something, we tend to believe that what we are letting go of is something bad, right? We tend to think that the need to let go of something is something that is toxic or no longer a part of our life. But sometimes the letting go of something is something precious to us, is something that we love. And again, to be able to fully let go even of that which we love and that which we want to release, there is a process of embracing it, of holding it in our arms and thanking that which has been part of our life, thanking it and giving it a proper burial, right? And so we go to the next sorrow, which is the burial of Yeshua, of Mother Mary. And as I'm talking about these beautiful and powerful sorrows that Mother Mary experienced, we can feel the sorrow in her heart and the pain in her heart, right? Pain is something that we tend to want to move away from, especially if we feel that we are truly spiritual or want to be in the light. We want to run away from pain. Pain alchemizes and cleanses if we know how to channel the pain. If we know that at the end of this pain that we're feeling in the body, something we experience is transcendent. And so let's go to the seventh sorrow, which is the burial of Yeshua. So Mary, with the help of others, laid her son's body in the tomb. Leaving Yeshua in the tomb symbolizes the final farewell, a moment we all face with our loved ones. It is a sorrow that teaches acceptance and the courage to face the future without someone that we cannot imagine living without. Spiritually, it reminds us that while our physical presence with our loved ones may end, our spiritual connection endures, guiding us to find peace in the continuity of love beyond physical existence. And this is a teaching of death itself, right? Death is something very difficult to bear. And we know that we are infinitely connected to these souls. We know that we all come from the womb of Ima-Ila, the cosmic mother, the ocean of souls, and we are all always connected. But in the 3D, when we know that we no longer have the presence of this person, it is a painful experience. And so what can give us the fortitude and the strength to continue is knowing that we are always connected. Yet we need to practice this now. Every day, or at least once a week, spend time just connecting with all of your loved ones through a dimension of light, right? Imagine yourself being connected with them through a dimension of light and knowing that you're connected in that light. And so you will start harnessing a relationship that goes beyond the physical. And we can do this now. And so thank you for your presence. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I am just feeling this beautiful sun on me right now, ready to take away my little shawl and have a beautiful walk in this beautiful ocean. And sending all of you so much love. Ahava.